Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Robin and this is Robin Reads. Today we are doing a book tag. I don't remember, I wasn't tagged in this tag and I actually don't remember when I saw this person do it, but this is the 20 bookish question tag and I saw abookolive do it a while ago. I'll leave her channel down below in her video. And then the original questions came from like someone on Goodreads, but I'll leave that below as well. So let's just jump right into that. Question 1. How many books is too many books in a book series? That's a good question. I feel like there's not necessarily a cap on how many books are too many, but only if all of those books actually contribute to the overall story. Like, you know how you're just reading book 7 of 15 and you're just like, this could have been a novella. It didn't have to exist. Why is it here? So, I don't know. I've never read like a super large series, like over 10 books. Definitely haven't. But if you know of any series that go past like 10 books and it's like phenomenal, I want to know about it. Let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to like maybe check it out. Maybe I would want to read it. We'll see. Question 2. How do you feel about cliffhangers? I don't mind cliffhangers if they're written well. Now, if it's a cliffhanger and it just feels like the author got tired of writing and was like, oh, we're gonna wrap this up, and like, but nothing is resolved and you're just left wondering like, what's going on? It feels like lazy writing. But if it's a cliffhanger and you're just like, and the possibilities are limitless, it's a good cliffhanger. I don't mind it. Question 3. Hardback or paperback? I'm gonna say paperback. Hardbacks aesthetically are like better, you know, they just look better. But paperbacks, there's nothing better than having like a big floppy book just open itself for you. And also, controversial maybe, I love to crack a spine and it just gives me a little bit of joy to crack a paperback. It just feels good. Question 4, your favorite book. So is this like my favorite book of all time in life at the moment? It's really hard to say like what. I mean, I guess I usually say it's Little Women because that was the book that like really sparked my love of reading. I really felt invested in the characters, except for Beth. That's not here or there. But I'm gonna give you some of my other favorites of life. First, I'll mention A Brief History of 7 Killings by Marlon James. This is a wild fucking ride, not gonna lie. And she's a little thick. This follows the assassination attempt on Bob Marley, and it follows several different characters and how they're all connected to this. Not everyone was like trying to assassinate him. Some people are just like there. It's a really good book. Crazy stuff happens, but so good. Another favorite of mine is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It is a booktube darling. It follows this old Hollywood actress who's like ready to give her life story. And so she calls up this pretty unknown journalist to like give her story to. And then you kind of find out why she had 7 husbands, all about her supposedly scandalous life. I liked it. It's a good time. Also, it's one of my super duper favorites. This is Death by George Pendle. This is actually the memoir of death. And it's hilarious. It's also like, there's a little bit of a romance in here. It's a good time. Like, let me read this. Death was born in hell, the only son of Satan and sin. He was educated in the palace of Pandemonium and the Garden of Eden. Since before the dawn of time, he has ushered souls into the darkness of eternity. His parents are Satan and sin? Like, come on. Give it a try. And another favorite of mine, I don't have it on my shelves, but I do hope to get a physical copy of it, is Heavy by Kiese Layman. This is his memoir that chronicles his time growing up as a Black boy in Mississippi and his complex relationship with his mother, his weight, body image, sexual assault. And the title implies it is heavy, and it is, but it's so, so good. I would recommend it. Actually, I would recommend all of these books, so go ahead and read them. They're my favorites. Question 5. What is your least favorite book? Said it before and I'll say it again. It's Fellowship of the Ring. Fight me. I don't care. I don't like it. Question 6. Love triangles, yes or no? I'm going to say no, only because I've never seen one done really well. It's always a love line, you know? But if you have any suggestions for good love triangles, drop them below in the comments. I really want to see a good example of one. Question 7. The most recent book you just couldn't finish. The most recent book that I could not finish was My Life on the Road by Gloria Steinem. It wasn't working out for me. It was like, her life is very interesting, but I just feel like she had written other better books than this, and she was just recycling. She was like, well, you know what? One time I sat in a taxi cab with someone and they seemed like a nice, genuine person. Let me tell you about it. Some of her stories about like her growing up were interesting, but other than that, it was a little flat. It didn't feel as dynamic as it should be for the person that she is. Question 8, a book you're currently reading. I'm currently in the middle of House of Rougeau by Jenny Jagle. This is a multi-generational family saga starting with a family that's on a sugar plantation in the Caribbean, and kind of what happens over lifetimes. We'll review this later. I have thoughts. The last book you recommended to someone. The last book I recommended to someone was one of my friends. It was Gargoyle by Andrew Davidson. This is about a man who is badly burned in an accident, and he thinks that it is because of past sins that he's committed in his lifetime. And then there's a woman who comes to the hospital that he's staying at, and she basically comes in and she's like, you know, I know you, we've known each other for lifetimes, and she goes on to like take care of him. But like you get to see this relationship grow out of this very random occurrence, and like, you know, what would you think if you were in the hospital bandaged from head to toe, and this woman or this person just comes in and is like, you know what? We've known each other for a lifetime. We've known each other for many lifetimes, and we love each other. It's weird, but beautiful. The writing, love it. Question 10, oldest book you've read by publication date. According to Goodreads, it's The Odyssey by Homer. Question 11, newest book you've read by publication date. It would be Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. Question 12, favorite author. My favorite author, if I have to choose one, is Malcolm Gladwell. I really like his writing style. I enjoy the topics that he chooses to write about. I think The Tipping Point is definitely one of my favorite books. I didn't mention it earlier, but it is definitely one of my favorite books of all time. Question 13, buying books or borrowing books? There is something deeply satisfying about buying books and just having them on my shelves. It's a comfort for me. And while I'm currently on a book buying ban, because I have too many of those comforting books around me, it would definitely be buying books. Although in recent years, I have been using my library a lot more. Not currently, because it's still closed. Although I guess I could just get books to go. But it's not the same, you know, going into the library, browsing the shelves, picking them up, reading them. Like, do I want to read this? Do I not? I miss the library. Question 14. A book you dislike that everyone else seems to love. That award goes to Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon McGuire. Everyone loves this book, and for me, it just felt very flat. It was like she just tried to throw in every single representation that she could think of and like see what's stuck in the book. And because of that, nothing just felt genuine to me. It just felt, I mean, even the plot sounds like something I would love. Like, people are murdering people from different magical worlds and lands. Sounds fantastic. Hated it. Question 15, bookmarks or dog ears? I tend to prefer bookmarks. I don't have a problem with dog ears, but I don't know, just bookmarks for me. And really anything can be a bookmark. Candy wrapper, a pen, pencil, anything. Question 16, a book you can always reread. So I've said this before, I don't actually reread books. I just feel like there's so many books to read that if I go back and reread them, I'm missing out on a new potential favorite. But I guess I used to reread like Harry Potter books. Obviously I don't, and I haven't in many years. I know what happens. But I have been recently thinking about revisiting some of my past favorites and seeing if, like, are they still my favorites? I recently reread Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and I shouldn't have. Question 17. Can you read while hearing music? I can only listen to music if it's instrumental. So I can't listen to instrumentals of songs I know the lyrics to, because I'll be reading a book. Next thing you know, the words are popping into my head, and then next I want to know why this person is plotting against like Taylor Swift, and it's weird. Question 18, one point of view or multiple point of views? I love a good multiple point of view. So I think that there's just something when you're not just in one person's head and you get to see a situation from multiple angles. It's just, even in life, I find it interesting how people can experience the same exact situation and have completely different thoughts on it. So I like multiple point of views. Question 19. Do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? When I was younger and I had time, one sitting, hands down. But now it's more likely that it's a multiple day situation unless it's an audiobook, and like a very short audiobook that's like maybe 8 hours. Then I can get through that quicker because I'm listening to it like 2 times speed. But also I can only do that if a book is compelling enough. Like, I don't just read books just like quickly get through them. So even if a book was only 8 hours, if it's not compelling, I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna want to listen to something else in between to like break it up, you know? And question 20, who do you tag? I tag Kit from Kit's World. I'm not sure if he's done this yet, but just in case he hasn't, he is tagged. And I also tag any of you. So if you feel like you want to do this tag, go ahead and you're tagged. Boom, do it. So this was fun. I had a good time. I hope you had a good time. If you have any recommendations for really good love triangles or series with tons of books in them, let me know. I'd be interested to hear about them. And until next time, bye.